And we'll open up this meeting. It's the Library Building Committee. Indictment is Thursday, July 18th. It's 2 p.m. This is not a hybrid meeting, but I still will ask for a roll call since we're in the call. So, Campton Chief Co-Chairman.
Jack Hales, Historical Commission.
Ron O'Connor, Chair. Mark Crockett, Library Director.
James Aguirre, Building Official.
I will call to order the meeting of the Library Trustees. Roll call, Ron O'Connor, Chair.
Alexa, Trustee. Peter Russo, Trustee.
Could we all stand for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I wasn't here Tuesday, so I'm interested in a few comments and input on the
We're actually going to get right into the weeds of the plan.
So we were given this.
We were given this 4:30 or 4:45 the day before.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were in on Monday as.
Right. MMT was present on Tuesday, along with Holly from the GCP. They did a presentation. We did have the plans. I had these printed by the planning board. There was lots of discussion, which if you have a minute, you would know. However, what I would like to do today, and why I asked for us to meet so soon, is I want to try to get ahead of the architectural firm and some of the questions that they're going to ask. So we now need to get into the weeds, so to speak, as to what you want your library building to look like when you come in and rent it. So I'd like to take the time to go through room by room today, get everybody's opinion. If we have a consensus, we'll run with it. If it needs more discussion, then we can bring it up there next week. So that was the idea. I think it might be appropriate. Sorry.
So
Can I open this up?
Yeah.
the goal.
So basically, the goal, what Jim I think was going to say before we got the call, is that he knows what kinds of questions the architect's going to ask, what the architect's going to want to know from us in order to continue on. So what we'd like to do today is mark up these plans in anticipation of the questions that are going to be coming. That way, when those questions do come, our answers are ready and doesn't delay the process any further. That's really our plan today. So, and the best way to do that is going to go through room by room, how we want to look, you know, what colors or the finishes, fixtures are we looking for, and then we're going to go from there.
Do we have a list and colors of the possible finishes so we can actually see them?
I have a list and colors of the shelving that I ordered that's going in there, so we can make our decisions based off of that. So all the furniture, fixtures, equipment that I have ordered, if it isn't in, it's coming in, and I know exactly what that is.
And while I understand,
so we can base that off
I
that.
understand that, but he wanted us to select finished colors for the.
Oh, I understand. what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
He was gonna send samples of that, because we wanted to blend in with
Right.
the historical.
He was
look
gonna
and
send
sense.
Maybe a little bit of context when it comes up. if that's all right.
So our goal for this meeting is to come up with recommendations for the full building committee meeting for next Tuesday.
Right.
And then out of that, we will send that
Thursday.
information out to
Thursday.
Thursday at 3.
Yes.
Don't confuse us.
No, it's something else on Tuesday.
Okay. So I think since this is sort of a more relaxed atmosphere, I will share something with you. I do have some concerns about how things are moving. I do have concerns about meeting our deadlines. I do have concerns about staying on budget. So I just had a call earlier with Granite City. I shared it with Mark just moments ago. I would like this to progress to the point where they give us cost estimates. And then I would like us all to meet, take a deep breath, and see where this is going to land. Because we might have to alter our trajectory based on that information. I think what's being proposed may exceed our budgetary expectations. So we may need to regroup, and this needs to stay on track. We need to stay on budget. We can't go for any more money. And in my opinion, I think the engineering firm capable, but I don't think they really care about what the budget is or how long this takes to get done. And that's obviously a huge concern for us. So I don't want to be melancholy, I want to move forward, but I think once that comes, even if it's on short notice, which we used to lately, we should call a meeting, digest the information that's given to us, and then either run with it, or we decide to take a step back, take a week or two to think about how this is gonna work.
Just a comment, I thought I ran a pretty relaxed meeting. That was pretty relaxed. Couldn't have been worse.
You're right, sir. I think the fact just hearing from the architect in person, just the fact that somebody was there.
Maybe
Was
it's
one of
because
our-
I despise Zoom, so no one's on Zoom, so I feel more relaxed. How's that?
It is more relaxed.
All right, so I know
I should just say thank you for that.
you're seeing this for the first time, Ken. Everything is fairly accurate to what we've discussed to date. I think you're aware that the ramp will be on this side. This is a proposed HVAC unit, which would be where the old ramp is. But the interior of the building is pretty much exactly the way we've all discussed for months now. The only takeaways from Thursday's meeting were that this bathroom is going to be altered because the library has expressed, which by the way, I think it was great input. The library really needs to speak up. If they need things in this building to make it their own, we need to hear that. So I think Thursday's meeting was excellent. Tuesday's meeting, sorry. So they want a baby changing table in this area. The architect proposed it here. However, that was nixed by the members of the committee. That must be in this one because it's close proximity to the children's house. Right. So this is going to have to be reconfigured.
There could be a code down, so it's not a permanent.
Right. The other thing is, after much discussion, there will be a door here to the team room now. There will be a door here. And there will be doors on the closets. This is a half a wall. That's a storefront wall, 13 feet tall, 12.6, I think, with the ceiling. So it won't go all the way, yeah, it's gonna be a false ceiling and a crystal ceiling. It won't go all the way to the existing church ceiling, room ceiling, sorry. But it will have a ceiling.
Is that because of the center on noise restrictions?
And a glass door was
Right.
recommended, so they're still visible.
Those are blind spots.
Yeah.
Right. And this is still gonna be storefront style. There will be a fixed panel along the base, which I think is gonna be 40 inches high.
4 feet tall, yeah.
And that's because the library director wants shelving to line the entire perimeter. This shelving will have to be altered in order to allow for the door swing, the door must swing, yet cannot swing out. And put a door here, and then doors in the closets.
So could that, is there, I don't think this can happen, but could that glass door be a sliding door and slide behind the bookcases? Yeah.
The reason for that is the glass, the glazing is too heavy.
Mhm.
And we don't have any mechanisms that will allow it. So
These doors here are gonna be glass.
these are gonna be existing doors.
Just on that.
Yeah, we're gonna try to use existing door slabs that we have. So we'll try to repurpose whatever we have.
So I have these plans up on my phone, I just want, it's easier for me to follow along here. So are you on that first page then?
I'm on page A1.01. Or, if you're, I'm not sure what the rotation is on your phone. It's either the lower right or the lower left. A1.01.
Okay.
So other than that, I mean, there was some discussion about the ramp configuration with the shelving that the library director would like to see along this area here. But nothing has changed. It will still be a ramp as you've seen it. It will have handrails on both sides. The shelving here will be just a little bit taller than maybe some people have visualized. But it's still all works.
The walls would be on the ramp, not outside the ramp.
Right, yes.
Safe space.
Yeah, the question came up. We currently made this ramp much wider than required by code. So when I found out about the additional wall, the wall, it was discussed, the wall was gonna be on top of the ramp, not in front of it, so it doesn't take another 6 inches away from the floor space. But it's still, we're still gonna exceed the ramp width by several inches. Any questions? So I think just for ease of everyone's, so they can visualize, we want to start from the way we walk in, and then we'll just walk through the building.
I just mentioned one thing about the ramp, because this was discussed, presented and rejected, was to have some sort of roof going over the ramp. To control noise as kids go up the ramp. And that's-
Stage.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, and, you know, I think the architect's intent is spot on. The knee wall that is now going to be put in the children's area to accommodate shelving will be pretty much within an inch of these two walls. So the glazing here will coincide with the line of sight at the top of the wall, so, you know, it'll build for
Did they say the person in the children's room would be 5'6" in order to have the lines? Current librarian is not 5 feet tall.
so no one's gonna be able to see.
So they have to have a stool to stand on periodically.
You're gonna be no climbing up shelves.
I am 5'6" as well.
But what I'm saying is if she's looking to have a line of sight,
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
she's not
So
gonna
this
be
is a
able to do
concern.
it. I'm serious.
Yeah, this is a concern, okay.
So I was
Yeah,
saying-
so I don't know if that's is that a concern, is the staff member in the children's area, you need to see in the neighborhood.
Well, I think the goal for me is to staff the children's room and the circ desk, so there'd be 2 people. So this area would not be unsupervised. So there wouldn't be one person here and nobody there. The goal would be to have 2 people.
Unless somebody had to go to the bathroom.
So-
Let's say the person at the circ desk had to go to the bathroom. Now, that's a place that probably one of those mirrors could be, and so I don't even know what you call those mirrors, but. Yeah, so she could look at the mirror to
Okay.
see.
I'd have to see how that would work with the glazing, because there might be a double reflection with the glazing. I'm not sure you would get a very very clear.
We have had no lines of sight for as long as I can remember, and there is been no issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say,
It's-
Laurie can't see over into the Mongo unit today, so.
No,
Right.
And even at 395, she couldn't see up the stairs.
That's the stairs,
Yeah,
so, and even if you're, not 5'6", you can see enough that you know somebody's there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, even though things are simple and safe now, we're also looking into the future.
No, it's a great point.
I think the line of sight issue came up because if there was only one person staffing the building, that you'd have to have the line of sight. But this, you have to have 2 people in the building. I've always maintained even in these buildings, you can have 2 people for safety, but. So having the line of sight, like I said, when we were on Main Street, there wasn't any. So what you do is like if you went to the bathroom, it would be 5 minutes or whatever, and you'd come back out, just, yes, everything's the same, excellent, move on, because that's what you do.
Yeah, but this was designed knowing that we would have staffing for those 2 places, that we would have 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if there's only one, that would be where that person would be.
Exactly.
And then would the children's room be closed? No, because we never closed downstairs when we were at 395, what we'd have to do is, circulate. So. Just so you can do that, easily enough, just walk around.
So as staff, you don't see it as an issue?
I don't, but I'm not gonna be there, but I'm saying from my experience, that's not.
So this is a much bigger building also.
That's right, yep,
How do you feel about it?
I feel very comfortable, yep.
Should we talk to the staff seriously about the other serious practice?
You can, and perhaps it's, maybe I can do that as a member of this committee, just to get what they need to say. But I mean, you're not gonna be able to see this from, you're not gonna be able to see that. It's, you just kind of have to know as a staff person where people are, because you've seen them come in and.
And that was actually also one of the reasons why we have the 3 entrances. I was never gonna have this one be one that people would use to get in. It would always be this one, because that would be the main entrance. Someone could come and go in here, and these 2 staffers, or even if it's 3, even if it's a full staff, 1, 2, 3, 4, no one ever knows who's coming and going here. So that was one of the reasons why I had no intention of using that as a public entry and exit at all.
I know, Jim, you've got a sequence here, and I want you to get back to that.
Yeah,
Is that door going to be alarmed then? Is that something? that's-
We should allow all of them.
Okay.
So this should be open.
Now, that door actually is not gonna have any hardware on it, you won't be able to get in it from the outside. You have a door.
You have a crash bar.
Right,
Yeah.
crash bar to get out, nothing on the outside.
But a picture going up, that would be an alarm.
Right.
Okay.
Insane.
Right.
So you can.
This will have outside hardware.
This is a.
That would be I said it's where the father would.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Then I can believe it.
Well, let me.
Or to design.
There'll be-
Also where the staff apartment was, over on the other side, like on the other side of the pantry.
There'll be fobs at every door, because even though that doesn't have hardware, I want, public safety to be able to do it.
Oh, fine, perfect, okay,
So,
yep.
so there'll be fobs on all doors, but there'll be no hardware, and that is specific as a deterrent that it's not a public entrance. So if someone doesn't see a door now, they know that, oh, I can't get in that door.
Well, how does public safety do?
That's right. Or, no, it unlocks,
Was it like?
Yeah, there'll be a handle.
That's-
Yeah.
Such an expression in mag.
Right, I mean,
Well,
I
if you really wanna know, they do have the automatic door open on the fire truck, so they'll get into any door, anytime, anywhere.
It's called a hatch.
Donate, you can have it.
All right. So what I'd like to focus on today, because there's a lot going on here, is I'd like to focus on the floors and the walls and ceiling colors. And what I mean by floors is, do we want hardwood, do we want carpet? Walls, do we want to keep what's there? I hope. And then what do we want for paint? And then ceiling, do we want to do anything with the ceilings? I'd like to stay away from the lighting for now, because we don't have the electrical plans. I've thought of sound transmission in this building. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I really don't wanna visit that until we have a fully functional operational building. And then if we have to, we can do something like we did here. After the building, after it was used, and we realized, hey, we have a problem with beaver, and we need to work on it. But I don't wanna get in front of that and.
I think once books go on shelves, that's gonna go a long way, because this room is basically an empty room.
Right.
If you have shelves with books on it, that's gonna go a long way, in mitigating sound.
And then what I'll do, just because I've been doing this for a little while, is I'll tell you what my opinion is. Don't take that as what I think should be there, just how I've done things in the past. And, from a longevity standpoint, what might work, okay? All right, so we walk into the front of the building, people are gonna be walking in from outside, we're gonna have, wet feet from rain, snow, et cetera, et cetera. So what I've done, in this building particularly, I haven't done it in the town hall yet, because we didn't have the money, is we have a indoor-outdoor carpet in that area, which is rubber-backed, which does not allow moisture to penetrate the structure of the building. The water stays in the carpet, and it either evaporates or the cleaners remove it when they come. That does come in colors. I chose a dark color for this building because we have contractors coming in and out. But that does come in colors. So my recommendation would be, enter this foyer area, that foyer area would be that type of a durable rubber back carpet. It's not a carpet you can roll up and take out clean, it's a wall carpet.
Yeah, for the whole,
The whole
Yeah,
area,
okay.
right, it goes up to the threshold of the main room, but it's a high traffic, high durability carpet that will not allow whatever's on people's feet to track into the main area. So that's my recommendation.
I agree. I was thinking carpet for this whole area as well.
And
So I have a black gray carpet downstairs. If that's the way you wanna go, I certainly don't expect you to pick colors today, but then we can bring swatches back to the committee and look at the color swatches and say, okay, this is what we wanna go with. So. Let's see, wanna do that?
It's not a place where people are going to stay for a long time.
No, but you do
It's like-
wanna do a.
you would
Correct,
just
yeah,
put
correct,
places around it,
Correct.
but
So,
But you need that barrier carrying all of that, yup, from the side into.
I guess my point is thinking of patients, I would think they're gonna go to the care. Right? Or, you know, it's flat.
you'll get someone. Let's go rainbow.
Oh, geez.
See if you really can make some rain.
I'm sorry, but the pastels will last.
So along the walls and their wainscoting on those walls.
This wainscoting and Mark has expressed interest in a nice custom radius bookcase here, which we still have to figure out who will build that, but I think that's a great idea. So the answer is yes, we have woodwork, you know, from waist high down, and then we have painted walls. Most of the front of the space is taken up by windows, curved windows. So you would have some color here. I think we all remember that the existing doors will stay, they're gonna swing open, be permanently fixed, so most of that wall will be camouflaged, but you'll still have some perimeter, and then you have ceiling. So I'm presuming we wanna keep that painted in there. We thought about what color to lighten that up. No. Any suggestions?
Do we have
Something neutral.
historical? That building's always had light colors above the wainscoting, as far as I can tell. There's not that many interior pictures.
Mhm.
So I would keep it, you know, in this neutral shades, because that also complements the wood. You know, when you start getting into other colors and stuff, it doesn't
and
necessarily.
that's a good point, because when I ordered the window scrims, you know, the blinds for the windows, I took an oyster neutral, white off white color, so that's already ordered in, so I think keeping it nice with a color like this would be
Right,
would be the way to go, yeah. I agree, yeah, good point, yeah.
because that more, it kind of warms the wood a little
Yep,
bit.
yep.
Complements it.
The bookcase that Jim alluded to, I see it going along the window, where the windows are, so it's the width of the windows, but not going above the windows, so under the windows, basically where you see the windows, I see the bookcase right under that. I can't order that because it's such a custom curve, but that would be my desire for a fixture in there.
Walk into the space. I'm gonna go with the storefront glazing, because I wanna make it really easy for everyone, okay? There are two colors that are standard. All the other colors that the architect was talking about, we can't afford them, okay? So there's a color that's on that door, which is aluminum, okay? And then there's a color that I have downstairs, which is a brown. And it's a dark brown, it's not a light brown. So my opinion is we go with the brown color here, that way it doesn't scream industrial, because the other color screams industrial, so. Okay.
That should actually match the shelving I ordered for in front of that storefront. I chose like a dark cherry color. So that should match.
We'll leave the ceiling alone in there. You have wall space in there as well. Now, because you're gonna have a ceiling that interrupts the wall between above and below the ceiling, you could change the color of that room if you wanted, as opposed to having the same color as the entire manual. So that would be an option that we would have.
I don't think the teams are for something cool back then.
So, do we know what family we want? Is this a bright color? Is this?
I mean, if I were doing it for teams, it would be.
Yeah.
Or black, because that's the color.
You don't wanna have to repaint.
Like it over with black.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
All right.
Oh, how about white with like a multicolor light fixture? Change colors.
Like a.
Just go on.
Disco ball, bring back the disco.
But your light fixtures in there could be more in the primary colors, the bold colors, you know, kind of keep a.
Yeah, I would do bold over here
Yeah.
and not so much
Right.
bold there. I would think just some sort of color.
So, we all laughed at Ron, but Ron, I actually think that's a good idea, and I'll tell you why. They actually have bulbs that are Wi-Fi enabled that you could actually log into and change the color on them. It might be some way to engage the teams to choose the color they want all over the room. So that could be something that, so if that's the case, then I can spec for medium-based lamp fixtures that are in the ceiling, flush mount, sort of like a recessed light. And then we'll put an LED Wi-Fi enabled bulb, and then you can change the colors. So then that would go back to a neutral wall color. So it would be cool.
I can tell you that.
That's perfect.
I have, my wife won't let me use it.
We don't need to know about what goes on here,
I have seen this.
That's very cool.
I'm telling you, all kinds of
Yeah, we can. So, do you want an off-white?
Will it not work with the same color we're using?
I think it'll work fine, yeah.
Then, yeah, that seems like it's, yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have somebody paint, just have them paint it the whole thing.
It's nice because it gives them control over the color and it does sort of encourage reaching a consensus.
Yeah.
Make people more, which is a good skill.
Or they can have fights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
And then the librarian gets to overrule.
Right. That's it, you get normal light, like regular.
You guys can't choose.
I'll choose for you.
Locking me up.
Are these expensive? They're not too
You can paint the same, so.
There's the parade.
Okay. So, based on what you just said then, are we following the same theme throughout the entire main room?
I would, there'd be no reason from what my point of view not to do it for the entire thing.
I agree.
From here over?
And
I
like this room and that room, I don't think that it's something that I as a patron, I as a taxpayer would want to spend money on.
Okay.
And I would think that it would be much more historical to have it be,
I think it should all be the same.
Including the children's room.
the children's room,
Because you can be colorblind, I mean, what fixtures?
you might want to have with the children's room have color in some way. So if you can't do it other ways, then maybe with that.
Well, there's color in some of the chairs, the animal chairs,
The tables.
the tables,
The colors.
and
Then
there could be
again,
color
if you've
fixtures
got,
unless they're.
And the thing with the children's room, most of the wall space is gonna be occupied with shelving.
yeah, so again, I would just do it and then,
It's a money saver.
exactly.
But I also think it makes the whole thing ties it all together.
Yes.
You have the same paint, the same, woodwork, all the way through the building, it ties it all together. If you go to my house, you'll see that it's all the same paint downstairs and all the same wood.
If you go to our house, you'll see that there's nothing the same.
I know.
You too.
See your house?
I'm with you.
Yeah. house is kind of open, so that's why I can't have seven colors.
Okay.
And so the multicolor LED was in style on the TV.
Yes.
Yes, it was. They just hadn't invented the LED.
They changed.
They just weren't allowed to use it.
The oil colors.
Or the filter in front of the
Yeah.
phone. Remember the red light district? All right, so let's stick with the teen room then. What do we want for floor in there?
Great question.
Is that a help with sound?
Okay, that's a great idea. What you telling us?
I was thinking the same. Now, that doesn't have to be the same. I have been talked into by flooring experts that carpet tiles are the way to go. And I have them here, all, they have a nice color array where you can get a sort of matrix colors of the same tile that tie all different kinds of colors. So I'll get some color tiles. Okay.
This is a cost then, the tiles versus.
So the tiles are a little more expensive, but they're less labor intensive to put in, because you don't have the stretching.
And if
Wall to
you,
wall.
and if you have damage,
Right.
take the tile out, put the tile
And the ones that we put downstairs have held up.
in.
impeccably. And town hall too, so. So a couple times.
Would we order extra for the purpose? of-
Yeah, we would order a couple of cards.
So the long term would be savings, because we'll be replacing any carpet, what is the?
And so,
Yeah.
And install. The only question I would have is, we might have to throw a thin layer of 4x8 sheet goods down first. Can't remember how that floor was. This one is sort of extreme, but I thought that floor over there was pretty tight. And I thought it was.
Yeah.
So if it is, then we wouldn't need to do anything with it, but if not, then we might throw something down on top. of it.
Right near all those columns. So it's-
Right. All right, how about the main area?
Main area, let's see. And this is just a thought I had. I'm happy overruled.
Yeah.
But I think it's carpet here and hardwood with stacks in it. I'm happy overruled. I'm happy to be overruled again. That's just a thought I had.
What was your thought process behind that?
Well, because this is where people are congregating and talking, I thought carpet will help mitigate sound. And the wood hardwood would match the sort of the wood finish for the shelf. But that's just,
The floors are gorgeous. I hate to just see them all.
I prefer runners, and so we did it. For a bit. Just so that you can have the floor on either side of them, but where people are walking,
other than.
That's just textual.
All right.
that's where the disco ball.
Subnotes.
I would think that we want to do something with confident more running. But the main would be, the kids are gonna come in. I'm not gonna go this way, they're gonna run up this way to the back. So, or even the stairs. Or the stairs, but they're gonna walk in, they're not gonna go here and do it. I'm just concerned about the noise. You guys have the experience. Right? So, doesn't make a lot of noise. People aren't gonna be running, I don't think, but I'm just concerned about the kids.
Yeah, because they are going that way, and you're gonna be part of this in the story.
Yeah, for obviously to mitigate sound, you wanna just carpet the whole thing, but the floor.
Well, no,
Right, yeah.
I agree.
And that adds to the charm.
And it does, absolutely.
Mhm.
So the less carpet, in my opinion.
The frequency with which you have those children racing in to get to the children's room is not, oh, great, right? It's just the times of the day. It's not, wouldn't be all day, so.
They may not be racing either.
Yeah, I think it's a library. that happens.
And I'm all for hardwood, that's
Yeah,
me.
well, I'm a fan of hardwood floors.
I mean, there is a couple places that you would need right in front of the circus before at least the road. But
So
Could you do like one of those standing trucks or something and be?
the only thing we gotta be concerned about is, those are barriers, because they're very thick.
Oh, yeah,
And they won't be accessible, so.
and that would be behind it.
Right.
But
So-
this would be,
So we're carpeting this. What if you use this storefront as a line and carpet it from here forward, and that carpet would flow right into both spaces?
Hmm.
Like that. And then you would have a definitive line here that would transition to hardwood for the rest of it.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, that would work for me.
Because this table location is sort of fluid, it can move.
It doesn't have to go right,
So you might want a chair that would be, like the transition
Right,
between the
right.
carpet.
and then you get the beautiful floors. and
So within
stacks.
the stacks, right, we all hardwood, but. That is something that could change if, hey, we have the resources. So,
And the nice thing with the carpet tile too is if we lay it out properly, which we will, everything will be centralized and then you work from the center. You could carry the carpet tile down.
I think that's gonna be it, yeah, for now, anyway. So we'll see how it is. Obviously, there's a lot of noise.
But if you've got all those stacks and books, that's gonna take.
That would absorb.
That'll absorb.
Yeah, no, stacks with books on them absorbs a lot, a lot.
and if needed, could you do that kind of panel treatment on the
Yeah, that's what I said earlier,
Yeah,
that
I'll
we
put on
can
the-
revisit that later.
bookshelves later? On the shelves themselves, at the
At
ends
the
of-
ends,
Yeah.
I guess we could. Let's make it back.
Well, say one more time.
I'll ask if we can use the sound absorbing panels on the ends of the bookcases.
Literally never been an issue. I know we haven't had as much space, but we are not the quiet,
No, I was gonna say, we talked about all this before.
And also,
The library's never been quiet.
the end panels that I ordered, they're slat wall panels. So that way, I ordered the case one, so we can actually display, periodicals, magazines.
I think we'll be fine, you're right. If it's noisy, it'll be a lively place.
people would be like, you have to be quiet, like, I'm the lowest thing in this library right now, so don't worry about it.
We're fortunate enough that we reached the point where it's being used so much that we have a noise issue.
Thank goodness.
We can celebrate that and then maybe see if we can mitigate it.
Right.
if needed.
And I think the public would like to see that floors,
Oh, yeah.
that's part of the charm of the building. But we can go and cover it all up.
More likely if people say, why did you cover the floor? And people say, why did you do carpet that?
And do we want the carpet, the same color carpet here as in the teen room?
I
It's
would,
just a flat, yeah.
I would just
Okay.
because it's
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, yeah, so when you get a matrix of colors, so.
Perfect.
Simple.
Yeah.
Side entrance. Or the entrance.
Yeah.
So you get two options, because it's not gonna see the traffic that this area is. You could carry the woodwork right through into this room, which I'm presuming will be in the. Yes.
Yes.
And here we can do one of those bound indoor outdoor carpets.
Oh, yeah.
That we clean, on occasion.
Sure.
That way, that does several things. It restricts the amount of carpeting in here. It allows the accessibility factor to the bathroom. And then it carries the woodwork through.
Mhm.
I appreciate that you have the seamless look and feel experience. that-
No problem.
yeah, it's
Thank
very
you,
helpful.
thank you. Before we move on, do we want to refinish the floors?
I think it's early to decide that because of construction. Doing shoes and stuff, may do some damage. We had these refinished, we did this, and they come out very well, so obviously we're concerned about the cost, right? We could put something down on.
We have, we've done very well at trying to keep the floors intact, so we've done a pretty good job. The reason why is that there's two totally different approaches to this. If we're just going to do a buff and polish on what's there and then a refinish, that's one way. If you're doing a strip and sand like we did here, that's entirely different.
Because we don't know how many coats of whatever
Right.
are on the floor.
And we're not refinishing the woodwork. You know, we're gonna probably TSP it and rub, but that's it, so.
We don't know what it was done before. Yeah, but keep them at current, I think the point is, you want to keep current character of the floor.
We want
As it is. Why not?
Yeah.
You can't be sick, how
Yeah.
sand.
We'll revisit that further down. Okay. Floor in this bathroom is what we call VST tile. It's pretty much run of the mill, see commercial retail stores, things of that nature. Really nothing fancy. We want to change that.
It's functional.
Yeah. It's clean.
It's
Yes,
functional. It's still got wear and tear, and let's leave it.
we want to change the colors on the bathroom. We want the same looks.
Seemed like a nice neutral. I never noticed what the colors were, but it seemed like a nice neutral bathroom color. That seemed,
It's white.
yeah, it seemed like a bathroom color.
Doesn't seem like that expensive work.
Yeah.
All right, we've got the grant.
Now, you have questions, this wasn't brought up at the meeting. I thought about it after, and it would have been kind of funny because it's not a door question. Do we a door into the children's section?
I can easily answer that. We cannot have it.
Okay, perfect.
Reason is it would swing into the radius.
Okay,
It would
yeah.
swing into another doorway.
Okay, so the answer to that, perfect.
We've already got the one that we decided.
Yep, that's right. Yep, perfect. I like when the questions.
I knew that, that's why I didn't ask.
Okay.
So do we want to transition to a different floor surface with the ramp? Or do we want to stay with the wood? I can tell you based on that ramp, you can't match it. It's impossible, and we will try. So we won't get the ramp floor to match if you want to go wood. The other thing is a wood floor on a ramp is much noisier than a carpet ramp. Yeah. So we
You're
go
gonna
back
have
to
the-
carpet.
Little kids running up there. I didn't know if you could.
I would say
But yeah,
You can, it's
That would be tile.
carpet tile, same thing.
Then I would just keep the same color that we were using. You know, the king room and circulation area.
Before I write anything down here, what are we thinking for the children?
And
it
because
has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
that's what I was, as far as flooring, yeah, correct.
And, you know, probably can't be because of accessibility, but that. You know, those little squares that we put together, but you probably can't. You know, like on a gym floor, I mean, that's very. But there's kids on the floor. So it has to be something.
Well, the carpet in the room that you're using now is the carpet tiles. Is that something we can do there?
I think. what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be carpeted because of that. If there were something that was a little bit soft that you could clean better, then that would be the way to go, but I don't know. So,
You know what other library children's rooms have? I've been in a couple, I've just seen those brighter, colorful.
yeah, I think that we need to go brighter with this carpet, absolutely.
You can do all kinds of kid-oriented carpets, you know, there's blocks there.
ABC, yeah,
there's-
yes.
Oh, okay, so I thought we were talking about having the same as elsewhere, we are actually talking about something.
No, we're just,
different.
we're doing.
This needs to be
materials
a clear delineate, like, we're in a different,
Yeah.
we're not in Kansas anymore.
I mean, I was thinking the same thing even on the rent.
And you,
No, just keep
Keep
going.
the ramp the
no,
same,
sorry.
because
Not me.
the ramp also takes you to the,
It's just more than.
to the
Right.
program room and other places.
Okay, no, that's a reason not to do it.
So, great question, where do we want that delineation to occur? It sounds, based on what I just heard, that we want whatever's here to carry through into here.
Right,
So we would have some kind of a false delineation, just like we have here between the two carpets. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's.
Alright, so because I don't like right angles,
Straight lines,
I'm
no.
gonna propose something maybe like this, okay?
Yeah.
So this will be one and then this will be the other.
Yeah, yeah.
And is the carpet gonna go right into the program room? And that's also, that was asked.
Yep, I think it should. I think it should.
Sort of paint, sort of like
Well,
that.
Well, I was right about that.
It's much easier to wipe it up. I don't.
Oh, that's a good one, yep.
We're looking at 2 cases of extra tile like this.
No, I mean, that's a good point, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, if it's a, see, but it's
Think
gonna be a
about yeah.
multi-purpose room, so it's not
Right.
just going to be arts and crafts and paint. There's also gonna be chairs where people are seated
Yeah,
for program.
But I think
Program
you have to
electricity.
look at the worst case scenario, which
Yeah.
is paint.
Okay, no, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
We have small room at town hall.
And blue.
Just finish what we have going away parties or whatever.
I wasn't thinking that, but that's
What's
a
that
good
point
point.
we're talking about?
No, but that, so Ken is suggesting we use a commercial grade faux wood flooring in the, actually, we did it in the break room and we did it in the all-purpose room next door. So,
What's there now?
Like a pergo kind of.
sorry, what's back there now?
Yeah.
We don't,
Yeah.
they're 4 feet long.
Yeah, they're still
It could be
like
a
that
different way, 6
inside,
inches.
outside
That can be
stuff.
given
Any
in
different
And it can be
colors.
cleaned and
But it does
I've been in there,
it's-
honestly.
it's
I'll have to check
vinyl.
with the phone next time as
It's
well.
fine.
it's
It
on
does look
great.
like wood, it does look like wood.
I think that's a smart idea.
I agree.
So it has the program meeting kind of appearance.
Yeah, so
It's planks, actually, they're vinyl planks that fit together, they have a soft backing, so it's not like you're walking on a, they're actually pretty good.
And it looks like wood.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Next time you're at town hall, take a look at the break room in that small room where they usually put that food out there.
Right.
That's great. Yeah, I really consider that room really a multi-purpose room. You know, meetings can happen with commissions or committees, children's activities, lectures, any kind of program. Exactly. So I really picture that just the most multi-purpose room of the whole building.
so really that vinyl wood looking is gonna be the best as far as durability.
And I would agree with that.
Carpet,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, carpet's gonna be.
And I think it
No,
will
that's a
look
great
better
point. Yep.
too.
Now is, what's in the break room, whatever? Let me just put that in.
Good call.
So you know it works and they.
Yep, good call.
So then I would recommend, if you wanna do that, I would recommend that this carpet tile run up here and then stop at this door threshold. Yes, okay, okay.
That makes sense. All following that, right?
Following.
Okay.
I stops here, and then here over, this is going to be vinyl plank. Here. Here, two back.
Why not?
Yep.
You go in the bathroom, there,
Well, that's a children's bathroom, so you might be able to get creative with that.
That's for anybody, but it's right next to each
Right,
other.
right.
That's gonna have changes.
Yes, yes, it will. Yes, it will.
So it could be like Italian too, but it could be primary color.
Right,
Mhm.
right, yeah, that's right. Well, this was easier than I thought.
I like the things you read.
And then here we said we go with the same color and then you do some accent walls or something like that, is that what we're gonna do
For the carpet,
here? In the walls.
for the walls, yes. So we'll do the carpet as, nice and bright, and other things, so the walls are insignificant.
Yeah.
Just the background.
And the only walls you're really gonna see are the walls that are above the shelving anyway.
Yeah.
Ceiling's pretty high.
Yeah. Still have the shelving. I just noticed that. Oh, whatever. That was the.
Where's?
He said he could not attend. We'll be attending next week. We can draw on the table where the table's gonna be, or, okay.
I meant to, I didn't want to make a big discussion the other day, but those two red circuits that you need for this table.
Yes.
That's mine.
Okay, I figured it was, but yeah.
Actually, having the architect try to capture it makes it more complicated than it needs to be.
Okay.
Because he's gonna want to know exactly what
I
you
got
want
you, I
that
got
above. I say put your table in and then I'll give you five.
Okay, perfect.
Well,
So things such as phone charging stations, like one in the team room and one in.
Well, we need to
open
give you
space.
receptacles for that, sure.
Yeah, but that's not a sort of built-in feature. It's not.
And even-
One station, yes, sorry.
Receptacles in the table.
so the director's office is gonna be there,
What are you having in your room?
yeah.
This one, I have two desks.
No,
I
not
think-
on the floor.
Oh,
Wood in your.
well, sit. I think wood's fine. I
We'll
mean,
just
it'll be
Pull
a
this
sense
right in
of
there.
You actually,
employees only.
you actually need floors.
That's not, yeah. Well, I have my own private bathroom, so.
Do you want the same plating that we?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah. We'll keep it, yeah.
How much wainscoting do you have, Jim?
We have some, but we don't have a
You don't
ton.
have time.
Mark, did you find those seats as wall hangings for your office? Is that?
I didn't hear what you said, but one more
Did
time.
you claim those seats as wall hangings for your office? Or?
Yeah.
What? Toilets.
The executive washroom, please.
And the reading room will have wood floors.
Yes.
That'd be.
And then the only thing we haven't talked about,
Just.
I would like to be, just my opinion, the historical commission will lay out what they want, the items. Pictures, stuff like that. Because that's the opinion.
Yeah.
I know Pat, you also mentioned you had a framed map. Because we're looking for something to hang above that mantle there.
Yeah, Jim has it down in his office.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah. But you're gonna have things.
Is actually one of the portions of myself.
Yeah.
Well, Ron took care of it. We're gonna have a portrait of my mom.
My God.
Did you see that I photoshopped it?
Yes.
It was so good.
I didn't get a response from it, so.
So that
You
fire
probably
is
just humbled.
painted right now,
Black, right?
black, probably it's brick, I would imagine. Given the time that it was built. How hard is that? 'Cause it's-
Now is the time to do it, I would have to have the sandblasted.
We don't want it black,
Yeah, we don't want to paint it.
but it would have been red brick.
Is it brick down to the basement? Is that the brick that they carry?
Probably. And that's a beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to like
Gorgeous, gorgeous, yeah.
We actually sandblasted a wall down here, and then we polished it, you know, not see it. So,
So the cost of finishing that electric federal wood, is that a lot? And is that something you could fundraise for?
it's possible that would be a good fundraiser.
For the restoration?
But it's something you wanna do.
I think it should be that.
Yeah, so we just, I think,
Now's the time.
Right.
That puts quite a bit, so.
Yes. When we talk about fundraising and money, how much are we looking at?
Less than 5,000.
Have we talked at all about having people sponsor shelving? Like that?
I think that's something that we can talk about next week, but I also think the Friends may be part of that, so. I don't want to
There-
put spot.
Ultimately, the decision is up to the trustees as to what is gonna go into the building, you know, whether you want plaques, you know, fund for fundraisers, because the Friends did talk about, someone wanted a plaque on a bookcase, you know, to honor a parent or whatever, or a library user. And that's not up to the Friends to make that kind of decision, it's up to the building trustees, because that's your domain as to what's going into the building. Certainly, if you decide for certain plaques or whatever, in the fundraising, then they will give you funding per se. Now, I know there's still earmarked funds that they're working on, like this golf tournament that's coming up in September. Those funds are earmarked for, you know, for the library. So there is an account for earmarked funds. They meeting tonight, as a matter of fact. So there is.
This just might be a nice project.
Yeah.
And really are.
Well, there's one donation that's today, or at least one donation on the books today, that someone has donated. Shelling, donated shelling to the library. The plaque would be needed commemorating that. And I assume as this ramps up, then, you know, there could be more.
Yeah, I work with someone who's obviously she put in bed. And parents are both dead, they're in the process of selling the house, but she and her siblings, she keeps asking me, is there something we can donate to the library? And
What's one, so, you know, they need to know the process, so we should think about that.
Right.
So just a thought, you would get, if someone made a donation, they would get their name on a plaque and cap, I presume, correct?
That could be one way of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, or
So-
No,
Well,
it
my-
hands, it's putting on the shelf itself, or whatever.
or
Yeah, there are a number of different ways.
like
We
across
can
the
know
whole thing.
how coins we get, right? Depends on the number, if it's only just enough for the ends, that's fine, but I suspect we'll get more.
what you could do is do something like
So then we have one flag.
one flag
with
with
names
names
of
of
Because that's what we did for the Boston thing.
Well, the one that he's talking about that's already been
Yeah.
made. Was
Oh, they already
made,
made it?
was made, well, you must know.
Donation was made.
Peg
Oh, Costa.
Costa. they donated money for the large print shelf, basically.
Yeah.
And that was many years ago, but that's what they wanted to do with it. And we've been hanging onto it to basically do that with. So it would have, I would think that
That has to go. Yeah.
You know, and
Because
I
they
mean,
need rights.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and, but as far as, I mean, there's all sorts of ways, and I can talk to Ann, because I know she did a bunch of that when she owned her library. And how that works, and it's just, you know, if it's just like in the memoriam or whatever of this, it could fit right on the shelf. Right.
So are we ready to talk about that? With the full building committee?
I would
next week
think,
to put
because
this
that's
point
money.
on?
It is a door.
And as soon as we can get it out there for people to be like, oh, I wanna do that. And maybe we get maybe we have it on every single, you know, at that place.
It's not like we're talking about a hypothetical donation that may be coming in if we were advertising. We're talking about a donation that has come in specifically for this.
For that, yeah, but for other donors, they are out there.
I mean, yeah, I would absolutely do it, but I need to know what we're going to do.
Right.
And whether it's gonna be like, you donate 500 and you get a shelving unit, or whether it doesn't matter how much you do and you get it on the plaque or whatever, but that's gotta be something that's, you know, talked about, because I know people would be into that.
I'm sure there. So the question is that because you made this point, I thought it this way, is that ultimately is that a trustee's decision on what the fundraising process will be? You know, we went through this before. Yeah. But the Friends and this library building committee can make recommendations.
But I'll,
So we should put that on the agenda of next week's meeting.
Get the conversation started. I
Yeah.
also think it's also just general outreach and education to the community about the progress that's been made and where things are going, and you tie in the fundraising into that. I think it would make sense. We have the visit by Congressman Oppen across yesterday and talk about that.
Did you get your photo op?
We got the photo op.
Get the photo up.
One exterior and a couple interior. Was interesting. I had assumed that they were going to, because I was covering the children's section, and one was here, I assumed she would mark them down and swap out so I could go with them. Instead I get a phone call, hey, we're here now. I'm like, okay, yeah, great, I'll be there. I guess, so I had to put the 5-minute sign up, zip on down.
Yeah.
But it-
5 or 6 cars,
But it gave me the opportunity to say in front of everybody, sorry, I'm late, gotta work on staffing from multiple different locations, we gotta figure out here.
good opportunity.
And you missed the conversation where somebody made reference to the trailer, and said modular unit, and so I said, that's a nice word, and I said, yeah, we don't call it.
Tin can is what we
You
call
know,
it.
I called it a trailer in my first interview for this position, and you corrected me, and I said to myself, well, that just cost me the job. But it,
Affectionately known.
I didn't know the tin can, but someone else had used it.
I just wanted to
You
show
didn't-
you. what
you hadn't
the
heard
problem
Tin
was.
Can?
I call it a single line.
Because that's what it is.
Is this the,
I we could maybe talk to and. Or we just figure.
We'll bring this up at next week's meeting.
The cultural.
Two
Yeah,
ends.
I think we're making recommendations, so if we have that, but,
You want to see all.
Jim,
I
what
wanna
do
see
you
it.
need, Jim, what do you need at next Thursday's
I like the
meeting in
graphic
terms of
one, I do too.
definitive answers? Do you think we'll be able to talk about other things?
Two
Do you think we'll
ends.
get electrical stuff for next Thursday?
I'd like to say yes, but I
And then we can talk about fixtures? Do we, it's hard to talk about fixtures then in terms of overhead lighting, because I know Jonathan's going to have some concerns about how we do the soft lighting and where that happens.
So we can't do anything with lighting until the architect gets us plans and narrows down the availability of devices. So I can work with that.
Alright.
I would like this ratified though. I unless we're ready to take a vote on this today.
I think what we looked at yesterday is that we were going to bring recommendations to next week. I mean, I think you've got consensus here. It's safe to say that it's not going to be,
Okay.
it's not going to be overridden. So if I were you, you could proceed, but I would rather formal vote.
Yes.
We do.
We do have four,
We got
so
four
we
right
have
now.
four, are we in an actual meeting?
Yes.
It's a real meeting. Oh, that's right, you want to make. Yeah, we do. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, we get some of it, so.
No, we can vote to recommend, which is strong, given we have 6 out.
Five is a quorum.
We could, but I wouldn't want to vote.
Okay, I'm just,
Nikki and Jonathan and
Everybody's.
That's the one that I have. That's the.
Safe, we start.
the other ones,
This one I like this one as well.
I don't like
the
the middle
ones
one
in
at
the
all.
middle are like
The middle
really
one,
busy,
That's
like they're too.
I love
It's great, it's great for youth services.
No, that's fine, it works downstairs perfectly, right,
it. Excellent. Yeah, and I knew it would. I was like, it's a great color.
That's great. Now.
Yep, absolutely.
But no,
But this is an actual tile, so that's what they look like.
Not too thick.
No, that's fine. Yep. They wear really well.
So we'll get samples for the kids.
Yeah, these are not for the
No,
kids.
wait, when we get those.
That depends if we, no, I'd have to reach out to the carpet installer and see if they can give us some swatches, so.
Like the alphabet dinosaurs and like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
every single one would need to be that, but to have
Yes.
a couple.
Because when I was teaching, I got kindergarten, so they would old carpets, they'd be like one big color in the middle, mine was blue, then all around the edge was the letters and the numbers, you know, so, and they're all bright colors. Maybe we can have them in there. Yeah.
Do we,
So
do we know of any libraries that might have that type of carpet in them?
I'm sure that somebody has a listserv that you can do an email.
I do have to go, when I walk into library, I go to the children's section, if I do, my head's not, it's not something
I
I
don't
don't
even know what's next door.
you want to talk to settings with me? I don't know anything about it yet. I'm the worst person for like wall colors, it's like, that's why I'm gonna make this decision together. Okay. Leave it to me, get what you're gonna get.
But you absolutely can send it out.
Yes, yes, I'm always says yes.
Only thing that comes to mind, again, you say this is easy, but a plumbing fixture for a water. Is that easy? Does that mean we can?
Oh, it's
No,
a
this
great
needs
idea.
communicating, we need the wall space available to replace that. Yeah, so let's take a look at that.
Just need one.
Only required that one.
I would think so.
You're actually not required to have any. You
want
one then?
Right, it was bathroom because you want to get the plumbing and it's, you have the wall space.
It needs to be accessible.
So that's something, not anywhere near.
There's a window here, this would be in front of the doorway, so that doesn't work.
And those are where you can put it.
Across from the room.
The plumbing's not a big deal because it's just a supply line.
So you can run it.
Well, there's a drain too inside. There's a-
In the
This
project
guy's
room.
taking up just about every bit of wall space.
Those books,
So-
those books.
Yeah, I have.
You'd think it was all.
Over here, near the sink. No?
Yeah, we would have to go over there.
I think I recall having this conversation previously, and somebody mentioned quality of water, which
I think I do remember that too.
I don't support it. Problematic.
Oh, no, that's so much
Yeah,
better.
it's much easier and stuff, I don't have to get the
Yeah.
water.
So someone there in the.
I think so.
Supposed to tree that into the space too, so.
Yeah, I think. It's just an agent, we could give it some thought. Put it on the agenda for next week. They're doing the plumbing.
Let's go, oh, good, great point, yep. Good point.
How about behind the circulation desk, if you would just compensate me for this one?
Sorry, me.
I don't think the staff wants to be serving people water.
Yeah, and there isn't any space there, so.
All right.
But I do think that it's,
I think we need it. So we can find a place for it.
So to answer your question for next week, I'd like this ratified, maybe bring that discussion up again. And then we kind of take direction on this, and we're gonna move forward.
So
I
I think,
think
Mark, when you're so good about minutes, when you send these out, if we could just make sure it explains, take a look at what the recommendations are from this meeting, and we'll be asking people to bring questions, we'll have to be prepared to vote. I think it's pretty straightforward, it's not something complicated or, you know, unusual about this, other than some team.
I think from a code perspective, we still need to have standard ambient lighting. However, those will be much more to add, so.
So does that kind of lighting, because I think Jonathan has talked about do those LED bulbs, can you make them softer?
Yeah.
You can, you do like
Yeah.
warm,
Yeah.
cool.
The ones downstairs that we purchased, they have 3 different colors, and it's called the Kelvin rating. Because I'm not a fan of daytime bright lighting either, the LEDs are notorious for that. So if you went downstairs and looked, they're set to different temperatures. The ones over my desk are the coolest setting you have, they're the warmest light, because I can't stand that bright light. Health department, because they're so, they have the brightest light, so you can see the difference there.
I'm waiting for that down.
Yeah.
I tried, and they made me change them all.
And it's just
So big mess.
I can see.
You changed something.
Well, I will say that, and that's, I think this will make a difference, so the window blinds or the screens for this room are different ones I would have for this room. This is 97% UV screen, and this one, no, this is 95, this is 97, so there will be a bit of there will be a light difference, there will be softer light here, just already based on the window trim.
that was gonna be for.
It's exactly right, that's exactly right. So just the ambient light, just comparing ambient light alone, that's gonna be softer anyway based on the trims we're gonna have.
So to answer your question directly, most LED commercial grade light fixtures have at least 2 or 3 different light settings to accommodate those requirements.
And so we're thinking about that for the reading room as well.
The reading room was gonna be that place where somebody
Yeah.
went if they needed quiet and softer
Softer
lights
lights,
and
so
whatever.
That's fine. And I would suggest we look at capacity to room as well.
Because there are absolutely teams that need that as well. As long as they're by
Well, there
themselves.
might not have that, how much you saying, you can put it at that setting. Where like the demo, or you have.
The setting is on the bulb, isn't it?
Yeah, no, they can't be changed.
Oh, okay.
They're changed when you install them.
Okay.
However, change them after the fact, you actually have to take the fixture back apart. So I think you just need to tell me what you want for lighting colors in each area, and then we'll try to have a fixture that meets that requirement. The lowest you'll ever get with LED fixture is 2700 kW, so you could physically see that in my office. So if that's what you want, then that's what we'll put in those areas.
Okay, so I think we have a lot of electrical things to talk about.
We're not ready for that.
That's fine. Sorry for that.
But we may be at the next meeting. Plans to do it all the time. I said
Going
maybe.
to the building, can you take a picture of the pictures that are there? Because we are going to review some of those like pictures, right? The ones on the wall, responses.
Yeah, those,
Yeah.
yeah, but the engineer, the architect was saying that we plan to save them all. No one ever discussed that. I don't know where that came from. He's back here, just Home Depot, those.
Right.
No, I didn't hear him say that. We just talked about the walls comments.
I didn't hear him say
Yeah,
that, and I was like,
right, we're not, right. So,
If you want more responses that, yeah.
yeah. We will use it. Maybe we don't know the clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You keep the key on you at all times, I'm sure.
It's in my locker.
We went through a probationary period.
No, it was the fact, okay, I got the comment, it was okay, I think it's time for your okay. Thanks. Well, it was when I was getting those quotes on the script, it's like, I was had someone coming like, it seemed like every day, it's like, we're gonna get your key, okay.
I used to have a key. Oh, you ever need it? I know what it is.
Yeah, the safe place, yeah.
Right here, man.
I have a question, it has to do with the outside ramps. Jonathan is pushing for the second ramp. I'm having trouble understanding. We have the code, like why for the second ramp.
There is no requirement for the second.
So
Not from the regulations that govern the renovations of an existing building
okay,
that fall under my jurisdiction, which is what you need to get on to. If there's some other requirement through some other statutory regulation, there may be, but it's not pertinent to this project.
So every time he brings it up, it's a non-issue.
It's a non-issue, but,
And I think I don't care if I'm in the wheelchair, if there's a fire, I don't think I'm going down the steps. You know what I mean?
so, I'm gonna say it this way, okay? If there's someone in this room and there's a fire in this building, someone is gonna make sure that person is out of the
Yes.
building. No one's gonna leave that person. in a
Nobody
wheelchair
is.
behind. No one. They're gonna do whatever it takes to get that person out. So I understand, but I don't understand.
it's weird. Well, the reason I asked is because you brought it up again, so I started doing a little research on my own, and everything I read said that, you just need the one. And so I was trying to figure out, then I looked at the Mass Office for, disabilities and tried to figure it out, but they're very difficult to read. I think they're very smart, but.
There is no requirement.
And the architect said there wasn't, but he said he would look at Jonathan's
Yeah.
emails.
I think that was the right answer.
It was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Now, as I
I
said,
just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing.
as I said in
something.
a couple meetings ago, you can pull another one if you want, that's your
Mhm.
choice. You just have to pay for it, that's all.
So in an emergency, first responders are not very far away. I'm gonna say seconds count, I understand that.
No, but that doesn't exempt you from the code requirements.
No, I'm just
If it were
saying-
a code requirement, it would be on this plan, it's not a code requirement.
My point is, you said,
Right.
somebody to make sure that the person gets out, then
You
you
can-
probably admit it.
There's no guarantee on that, though, right? That
There's no
someone else-
guarantee of that.
Because people are gonna panic.
Yeah.
Right, there's a fire, the first thing you
It's a
think
run
of,
right over.
unfortunately, is save yourself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You're not gonna think about Rick who's in a wheelchair.
Right,
So-
I know.
It is something to be concerned. I'm not sure why the rent that we have here can't be, as our second rent, just repaired or replaced. I know, I see this over here, I didn't see that before. But is that a possibility as a solution for this, second egress? I'm not saying that, I'm not in a position where I think we have to have like a low level on this. But is that a way to resolve this issue?
It's possible, sure. Yeah.
I don't know the costs, that deals with this, obviously, I haven't said it before.
Well, this is here because back here was being reserved if we ever use the lower level. There's an elevation difference that we have to make up. There's gonna be a fairly significant means of egress that needs to be put in order to get accessibility to the lower level. In addition to an elevator, you need to have ramped access to the lower level. So this whole back will be taken up, so that's why this isn't back there.
And what is this here?
That's the actual HVAC.
Yes, but what's the space here?
Well, the problem is, even if we move this out, the ductwork would interrupt the plane of the ramp, right? Now, could it be moved? It could be moved. So I guess to answer your question directly, could that be an option? Sure, it could be an option.
I don't know what the cost would be.
If you wanted to do that, what I'm saying is it's not a code requirement, it would be something that Dayton would choose to do at an additional cost. But it is about the solution to discussion.
And that would be, I would think that would be better maintenance wise than the lifts that Jonathan was talking about.
Lift requires variance. And here's the other issue too, that's not. There's a difference between this floor height and this floor height, because we raised this to match the stage.
So you need,
This needs to be elevated all the way to the outside, and the door that goes out currently is too low by 2 feet.
Sure.
And that's structural. That means I have to open up that whole wall, move structural header in, raise the whole door up, infill that floor. It's a major undertaking. And from both a public safety and a operations perspective, that is never going to be a public building.
Yep. So this is gonna be access for the public to go in.
No.
So this would be an emergency push pod to get out.
But that's
Also,
staff.
point,
Staff.
staff.
Yes. They would use their,
Right. That's,
you have, I'm sure you don't have it now, but could you give us an idea as to the cost of that?
I would try to have that for the next meeting, how's that?
Yes.
Because this is an issue that's gonna keep arising until we have a solution.
Right, just one, that's, another one's a concern is these windows open out. Right. So I don't think we're gonna be able to windows. You have to anticipate those windows.
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have books there, the rains, whatever, but they open out into the rain. But there's some way that we just, not gonna be able to.
We can actually limit the amount that they'll, and we would have to, in that case, the way that is set up right now, it's not, so we would have to limit the operability of those windows if that would. And then this RTU would need to be. Might be a good time to bring it up. I'm not sure that this is how we're gonna go. I think that cost estimate's coming back to that. And I have several concerns with this system. One is it's a single 10-ton unit that services the whole building. So if this unit malfunctions, the entire building loses heat or cooling. The systems that we were talking about previously were at least 4 to 6 different systems. So there's redundancy in the infrastructure. This particular setup, I just have some problem.
So the architect came up with that, said that
But this electrician, this electrical
This
engineer.
is in-house engineers came up with this.
so we can tell them we don't want that.
We can, but I'd like to see the cost estimates first, and right now, the way it's presented to us, I don't even see zoning for this system, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to modulate the temperatures of the different rooms appropriately. I have concerns all the way around.
Is there something, is the zoning, should that have appeared on a 30% package?
No.
Okay.
If I have an individual force, you can control each room. And condition
Now-
to identify that.
In their defense, they may be zoning this so that you can do the same thing, but you still only have one unit. And in a building like this, if the unit goes down, well, for instance, town hall, one unit went down last week. We still have 3 others. If people are still able to work. In this particular building, if that goes down, you're done, you need to close the library. So I'm never a fan of single library.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll revisit that, but it's a little too early. And so we have to get information.
So in terms of cost estimate, so let's say we'll get a cost estimate for that. Will we then have a cost estimate to compare it to with not doing the single unit or?
The only way I can answer that is I think Radisson Partners' original estimate was based on,
Oh, okay, okay.
plus that
That was years ago.
half of the program, but, you know, but, so we do have some comparison. But I think we get the cost estimate, we get the next set of plans, and then we.
So, will MMT be here Thursday? We're not expecting.
I don't think that- they weren't planning on being here.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Well, they weren't planning on being here for the last meeting on Tuesday. I doubt they're planning on being here on Thursday.
How
So,
was it that they came?
I'm glad.
No, how was it that they came? Did you ask them to come? Did
I-
Granite City Partners?
I expressed to Granite City that it would be beneficial if they.
And then Redwood
And Holly read
Technologies.
with it. Yeah, yes.
so Jim, you opened the meeting with a comment about concerns about cost and timing. I'm not asking you to do this now, I think it make more sense next week when everybody's here, just to, let's talk about the timing, because I think we're all anxious about, what do you see? Because you know the building trade and how this stuff takes, how long it takes. So we can talk about that next week. The cost is anybody's guess, right, but I think timing.
Yeah. That's if we have the cost estimates back, next week, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
Sure. But you could at least give a perspective on how long it will take, because I see things like this, I was joking the other day, probably the church that we bought the property from, will have their new church at that time before we.
We did buy a piece of property, I'm working on engineering now, so.
Yeah, contact you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good stuff.
So,
It's interesting, they're right next to you.
Yeah.
So you can choose
We're done.
which church you want to
Which
go.
one's gonna save your soul first?
Go to
Down the
both,
street.
you know, do a double header, you know, why not? All right,
Okay, the next agenda item is to approve the minutes. Now, I haven't seen the minutes, so I'm gonna ask for a motion to table those minutes.
I'm going to table the minutes.
Second.
Second.
Discussion, like I said, I have the minutes, so I will ask them to be tabled. We'll ask for a roll call vote. All those in favor say aye.
That Dale's aye.
Ron O'Connor, aye.
Rick Mills,
Mark Crockett, aye.
Zach Garrett,
Kevin Chico is not.
Okay.
And
So
next
I
meeting is,
but I think
next meeting.
the trustees also have to, let's say a motion for the trustees to table the minutes, so.
Make a motion to table the minutes.
6 seconds.
Ron O'Connor, aye.
Next meeting date, now I'm confused, is it Tuesday or Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Thursday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. I already checked, and no town hall's available.
Oh, we talked about, do you want to go,
We can't make it a public meeting if we have it.
That's true, that's true.
especially if we're going to talk about colors, and we're going to reference the colors here. Yeah, that's.
And it's probably not, we can't. Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second sign.
Ron O'Connor, aye.
Rick Mills,
Mark Crockett, aye.
Kevin Chico's not.
And motion to,
I make a
I'll
motion,
motion to.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Ron O'Connor, aye.
And Jim, and it's next year, when Shia's is going to come in and do.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I don't know, it's a pretty good job.